I'm wearing my most festive hat today in support of my gay friends who, despite that bizarre Judy Garland stereotype, provide a sense of flair and panache that I'm never going to bring to the world. You see, today, at the Minnesota State Legislature, Republicans attempted to delay a vote on gay marriage legalization with the rationale that they needed more time to study it in depth. Now, if you ask me, studying gay marriage in depth means that they think there's some serious hot man-on-man, dude-on-dude, or woman-on-woman action that they're not allowed to be a part of. But to us, they claimed it was for economic reasons. You see, some folks produced a document that said it was going to cost the state over $600,000 annually in state employee benefits. And you know what? $600,000? That number was probably made up by the American Institute for Fantasyland Economics. $600,000. That's a staggeringly huge amount of money for only 35,000 employees in the total statewide system. $600,000 is so much money that it's going to cost each of the 5.3 million residents of Minnesota about 11 cents a year. Staggering amount of money. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm married to a government employee, and I can tell you that the vacation time is fantastic, especially when the Republicans want to shut the government down for a few weeks. But there is no way in hell $600,000 annually is going to be the cost to the state of Minnesota for gay marriage benefits. And if you think about it, legalizing gay marriage and taxing the hell out of florists and DJs, we're going to come out ahead in the end. And if you don't believe that, I've got an entire roll of quarters that you can shove up somewhere and make your social conservative bigotry go away and stop being hidden under the guise of some economic free spending concern that hopefully only crazy people will believe. You know what? There's too much hate in this world already. And frankly, I don't understand how any single individual has time to hate an entire group of people for their sexual preference when there are so many individuals out there in this world for you to focus your hatred on. And you know what? My only problem with gay marriage is that my gay friends are way cleaner than me, and if I have to go to a parade of houses that are so much cleaner than mine, I'm going to get a serious inferiority complex about my inability to vacuum and mop, which I should be much better about. And frankly, my wife and I, we got married in a chapel right next to the topless pool at the Flamingo. So I'm guessing any gay marriages I attend in Minnesota gonna be a lot more classy than mine, although maybe not as fun. And don't tell me about the sanctity of marriage. I don't want to hear about it. In 2010 alone, there were over 800,000 divorces in the United States. 800,000. And that number doesn't even include California, where every 15 minutes in Hollywood, somebody's getting divorced and remarried. It's insane. 800,000 divorces in 2010, and that number seems to be going up. And don't give me this bullshit that a child needs a mom and a dad to be raised by, because you know what? In 2006, there were 12.9 million single-family homes, of which 80% of those were single mothers. And in the United States, I didn't see Congress lining up to give all of those 12.9 million single-parent homes free heterosexual eHarmony accounts so that they could go out and find love of somebody from the opposite sex and then provide those kids with a mom and dad. If they really cared, that's what they would have done. No, instead, we cut food stamps, we cut support for single moms, and we did all of this stuff to make sure that that child continued to grow up in poverty, and we sure as shit cut paychecks for teachers so that those children could grow up dumb. So don't tell me you care about those 12.9 single parents in America when the reality is you just don't want one poor kid growing up with gay parents. It bothers the hell out of me. Any child in America is going to be better off with two parents who love each other and love that kid regardless of the gender of the parents, unless that kid is a total asshole, and then all bets are off. And this ring right here, so this ring, you can see this ring. I'm going to bring it up nice and close. You can see this ring. It's just a hunk of stainless steel metal. I paid $99 for it. And a couple years after I die, it's going to sell for $5 at a yard sale. And I didn't even upgrade. They wanted to sell me titanium. But then I pointed out I do a lot of sports. And they said, hey, if you break your finger and you've got a titanium ring, there's a pretty good chance the hospital you're at is going to have to cut your finger off instead of the ring. Now, I love my wife, but I also love my fingers. So we bought the $99 stainless steel ring. Even though this is a cheap ring, it symbolizes something so much more important. It means that if my wife goes into the hospital, I have visitation rights. God help us, if something happened to one of the two of us, it would mean that there's clear inheritance rights, there's power of attorney. All of these things are important that we don't think about. And it also represents love. Even if the idea of love for my wife and I is spending the entire evening in separate rooms on the internet, why the hell would I want to keep that from somebody else? It just doesn't make sense to me. But I do get this. You're on the wrong side of history, and you're going to be entrenched into your beliefs, and you're going to promote them till the end because that's what you think and that's what you believe. I get that. I've been a Cleveland sports fan for 38 years, so I know how it feels to have a losing position and to stand fast with it. But you know what? Nobody wants to be that white dude from Montgomery, Alabama, screaming in the photograph at the Civil Rights Museum because they're letting a black kid go to your college. But that's what you people are, and that's what you're gonna be someday. When our children, and hopefully it's not our children's children or our children's children's children, God help us, look over the transcripts of the gay marriage debate in Minnesota or in any other state, they're gonna look at those comments and laugh at those politicians and feel absolutely ridiculous that folks like us voted for these bigots. It's insane to me. Drives me crazy. And what drives me the craziest of all out of this whole thing is when someone couches this in terms of real America or real Americans. We all know it's code word, and they're talking about someone like me. I'm white. I'm middle class. I'm heterosexually married, and I'm moderately portly, which makes me like almost every other American. And they expect me to have those same exclusionary, small-minded beliefs about America and think about how it was in 1950 when we were all supposedly eating Wonder Bread. Yeah, that's not me, and I've got news for you. My real America believes that anyone who wants to be an American gets to be included and have access to all the benefits that come with being an American. It doesn't matter if you're gay, you're straight, you're white, you're black, you're Hispanic, you're Chinese. Fuck it, even North Korean. If you want to come to the United States and you want to be an American and you want to work hard, guess what? You get to be an American. And you know what, people? There are more and more people just like me in America every day. There are less and less people that believe the American dream is 2.5 white straight kids with a white picket fence in the suburbs who's a traditionalist just like you. And frankly, I think that's a good thing.